Hello everyone, my name is Vikki Liogier. I am Head of Learning Technologies at the Education and Training Foundation, and I'm really sorry I couldn't be here with you today in person. I am actually on annual leave, so we thought I could record this presentation instead and make best use of technology. If there are any tweeters out there, please, you'll find my handle on this slide, as well as the Education and Training Foundation handle. And if you do tweet about this presentation, please use the hashtag digital ETF. And today I will be talking to you about digital competence for educators. Okay, 6 key points in this presentation. First of all, I'll tell you a little bit about the Education and Training Foundation and our mission and values. Then I'll develop about talking about the context in which we operate and how, in fact, this context has generated the need for the digital teaching professional framework to be developed, and how it does underpin the enhanced digital teaching platform, and what are our plans for the near future. And finally, I will conclude. So let's have a look at ETF mission and values. So what is the Education and Training Foundation? Well, we are the government-backed, sector-owned national support body for the further education and training sector. And our mission is to work with teachers, trainers, leaders, governors, and employers to help them deliver excellent further and vocational education and training. We have 5 values. We believe in being responsive to the needs of the sector, to always strive for excellence, to be inclusive, of course, and to constantly be developing our expertise. And finally, we will never promise something we cannot deliver. So let's have a look at the context in which we operate. Well, I was appointed at the Education and Training Foundation quite recently in January 2018, and I started my role by doing an in-depth positioning review so that I could really understand both the micro and the macro environment in which we are working and operating. And 3 key points came out of that positioning review. First of all, there is a clear awareness that digital skills and technologies must be harnessed for the UK to remain a global leader. The second point is the mere diversity and complexity of the vocational and training sector's landscape. And finally, the third point is that whatever strategy we develop, it must tackle the barriers to digital and the digital divide. Okay, so there is a lot of evidence that digital technologies are now part of our lives and that they are not going away. Change is not new. We are now in our 4th revolution. And when you think about it, in just 3 to 4 generations, the entire farming industry went from being the dominant employment in the country with 1/3 of the active population to just about roughly 1% today. All industries are now moving from analog to digital, and organizations that do not adapt are left behind. And this is also true of education. Do you remember Blockbuster? Gone. Digital is the 4th industrial revolution, and data is the new gold. When we look back in history, we will probably see that we are just at the start of the revolution. And while there is no doubt that activities within every job will be affected by artificial intelligence and machine learning, the digital revolution offers nevertheless great opportunities that come obviously with a number of challenges. As educators, we need to re-educate people and re-educate them in the new paradigm. The development of competent learners in the digital age is key to the future, and after all, we are preparing students for jobs that do not exist as yet. Technology and information revolution has had a tremendous impact on our lifestyle. The way we socialize and communicate have expanded, and not only in scale, but also in scope, with new modes of expression to fit the new media, and most interactions are taking place on a mobile device, and the facilities offered are constantly growing. Think about it. Travel guides, maps, music, TV, film and game collections, photo and video albums, newspapers, encyclopedia, book and magazine libraries, as well as an arsenal of tools to create and interact with content. The moment is seamlessly being captured, whether by voice, pictures or videos, and these all fit in our pocket. We now expect to have everything accessible and on demand from anywhere at any time. Immediacy is becoming second nature. I want to find out how to do something, I'll YouTube it. I want to find out about something, I'll Google it. I want a cab, I'll Uber it. Our attention span is lower, no doubt. Communication skills greater and surface knowledge much wider. Learners' expectations and habits have also changed as a result. Technology advances, and more specifically the internet, facilitate a shift from thinking about teaching as providing information to thinking of learning and creating a learning environment. This in turn creates a relationship shift between teachers and learners, as the teacher is no longer the sole information holder, and it promotes instead an evolution towards inquiry-based learning and towards the development of a learner-centered environment. The teacher's role is becoming the one of a coach and facilitator, guiding learners to take ownership of learning through inquiries, interpretations, correlations, and understanding. Learners no longer only need access to information, but also the skills to interact with it. Our remit as educators is to inspire growth and prepare learners to become independent thinkers, ready for the world of work. So our remit really is to help them build understanding using real-world tools to do real-world work in the real-world way. It's really important that we, as educators, remain the experts in our fields. And it is important for each one of us to keep abreast and even anticipate how the digital disruption will impact on our specialism. So in order to respond to change, we as the Education and Training Foundation developed a 3-year EdTech strategy to support the sector in developing the skills and understanding as well as confidence in in using new technologies, and our vision is for the further education and training workforce to become digital citizens, confident in using new technologies safely, collaboratively, and constructively to support learners to develop the skills to learn, live, and work in a digital global society. In terms of culture, we compare harnessing new technologies to riding a bike. Why? Because we've all experienced it at some point in our life. And riding a bike can be challenging at first and we feel a little bit shaky, but it becomes very quickly fun, fast, empowering, and rewarding. We have 7 key priorities in our strategy, and the first one we achieved last November 2018 with the development of an EdTech competency framework. So let's have a look. We also call it DTPF. So why develop a digital teaching professional framework? Well, if you remember what we said when we talked about the context, we identified that the landscape of the further education and training sector was greatly diverse and also highly complex. And therefore, it's really important for us to have a shared understanding of what it means to embed EdTech in teaching, learning, and assessment, and also to offer educators a clear developmental pathway to improve our capabilities to use digital technologies and enhance the quality of our practice. And most importantly, of course, to improve the learning experience and the learner's employability outcome, and to encourage them in becoming lifelong learners. And I am pleased to present the Digital Teaching Professional Framework, or DTPF. As you can see, it has 7 competencies, which are organized on the teacher's journey. However, it's not meant to be approached in a linear manner, quite the opposite. It is an aspirational framework, and it's for each one of us to decide which competency we would like to develop and which aspect within each of those competencies. Now, there are 3 stages of development within each one. So the first stage is about exploring, being curious and looking at the art of the possible. The second stage is about adopting and starting to embed EdTech within our pedagogic approach. And the third stage is about leading. It's about supporting others, but also about critiquing and looking at which EdTech may be more suited for a given learning context. The DTPF is a collaboration with JISC, and it builds from the 6 elements of digital capability framework from JISC, as well as the 20 professional standards from the Education and Training Foundation. If you're familiar with the QTLS and ATS, you will already be familiar with those professional standards. And finally, it also builds from the DG EduCamp from the European Commission. Now, to find out more about the Digital Teaching Professional Framework, please visit our website. You can scan the QR code or go to etfoundation.co.uk/edtech, and you'll find out the full document with our summer samples, exemplars of how to redefine your pedagogic approaches with EdTech. You'll also have access to our EdTech strategy document, as well as a number of blog posts, news, and other links. If you're not familiar with the Excellence Gateway, for instance, please visit it, and you'll have all the links to our various resources and platforms. Now, a lot of frameworks have been developed in the past. So how is this one different? Well, it is different because it is focusing on teaching and learning rather than simply applying digital skills. It has also been developed in very close consultation with the sector by adopting a user-centered design process. And finally, it is different because it's not just a framework that you refer to and you pin on the wall, which is static. It's actually a dynamic framework, and it came live on the 25th of January at BET with the Enhanced Digital Teaching Platform. So let's have a look at what the Enhanced Digital Teaching Platform is all about. Enhance is a professional development interface underpinned by the framework, and it consists of a comprehensive suite of online bite-sized training modules with a badged recognition structure. The Enhanced Digital Teaching Platform is aimed at taking down barriers to teacher development. It is a mobile-first design which can be accessed from any device, responsive and adaptive content. We have free access to all. You don't even have to sign up. However, if you do, you'll benefit from a far more personalized experience. As I said before, we've adopted a user-centered mode development process for bite-sized learning modules of 5 to 6 minutes maximum, which are pedagogy focused, inclusive, with achievement badges across our three learning stages: exploring, adopting and leading. And finally, this year we're really going to be developing communities of practice. But let's have a look.
Welcome to the Enhanced Digital Teaching Platform from the Education and Training Foundation, ETF. ETF's Enhanced Digital Teaching Platform is designed to help develop your teaching and training practice using technology. It gives you free, bite-sized online training modules, and as you complete modules, you can collect digital badges for achievement. As you can see, the platform has a friendly and clear feel with a simple navigation menu. When you scroll down, you can see rows of training modules in sliding menus, the most popular first, then new and updated modules. Once you have registered, you will see a third slider that will be personalized to you. The Enhanced Digital Teaching Platform is adaptive and responsive, which means that the layout will flow and adapt to whatever screen you are using. Let's look at the training modules in a bit more detail. You'll see that each module is related to a category and has a star rating. As you scan the modules, you can add them to your wish list. When you click on a module, you can find the aims and objectives. Each module is 5 to 6 minutes in length and includes an intro, a video or animation, a learning activity, a reflection, a summary, further resources. Each module also has a color code which appears in a thin line below the icon image. The color coding relates to 3 stages of personal development which the modules are organized around. Now let's explore the navigation menu at the top. Firstly, My Learning. This shows the modules that you have completed or that are in progress, and the digital badges that you have earned or partially completed. Badges are awarded for each of the 3 stages: exploring, adopting, and leading. They are portable, and you can use them on your CV or LinkedIn profile. Then, categories. Modules are clustered together into topics, and this submenu shows the topic headings that modules are grouped under. You can see more information about the service in the More section, including more information about modules and badges, and a frequently asked questions section. The toggle allows you to adjust the background theme on the site as indicated. Lastly, there is Login and finally Sign Up. You do not have to sign in to use Enhance, but registering for an account will enable you to save and track your progress, collect digital badges, and enjoy a more personalized experience. It's as easy as that. We look forward to welcoming you to ETF's Enhance digital teaching platform.
Well, I'm sure all of you are dying to try out the enhanced digital teaching platform. So please visit the platform and scan the QR code or go to enhance.etfoundation.co.uk and let us have your feedback, because as we said, we are using a user-centered design process and we build from your feedback, so we extremely value your voice. So what next? Well, Enhance is an evolving digital teaching ecosystem, and this year we are developing more micro-learning content, as well as developing the badges certification system with 3 levels of certification. The first level is when you complete a cluster of modules, and the second level will be when you share a reflection on the impact the training has had on your practice, and the third stage will be when you actually share a resource that you have developed which is aligned to the training. So these consist of the 3 stars you'll find on each of the badges. Besides developing content and the certification system, we also currently are piloting a management dashboard on the Enhance. It's aimed at strengthening support framework within organizations, and we will launch the organizational management dashboard in September 2019. We hope to foster and scale up communities of practice this year, and we continue our work with JISC and our partnership, and we're joining support between the JISC Discovery Tool and the Enhance digital teaching platform. So it's time to conclude. Now, we tend to invest in learning at the beginning of our lives, like if it was a capital asset. But we forget about once we have a job, we just move on. But it's not really sensible, is it? We really need to rethink and move away from this concept. More than ever, education institutions must also rethink how they operate, and the digital revolution is impacting on every industry with new ways of engaging, interacting and operating, and the development of competent learners in the digital age is a key to the future. Effectively, we are training students to become career surfers who will ride the digital wave and embrace the digital disruption with multiple jobs and a portfolio of careers like we've never seen before. The one thing I would encourage any education institution to do is to build a culture of growth mindset and lifelong learning, while making sure that the processes within the organization support the delivery of the ethos. Teaching is changing to learning, says Eric Scheninger, and we all need to become lifelong learners. So to conclude, here are 4 key points we need to reflect upon on a regular basis. Is what we teach relevant to the subject and industry as well as the learner's needs? Is how we teach mirroring real-life operations and building skills for employability for our learners? Is when and where we teach optimizing engagement? Do we need to rethink learning spaces? And finally, have we redefined our pedagogic approaches to make the best use of EdTech? I always thought this quote by Charles Darwin was highly inspirational and so true. So I leave you on this. So these are my contact details. You can email me or follow me on Twitter. I am also on LinkedIn, so do not hesitate to connect with me in any kind of way. And if you want more information about what we do at the Education and Training Foundation, please go to etfoundation.co.uk/edtech. And I hope this presentation helps you really understand how important digital competence are for educators. And I hope you will also check out the Enhanced Digital Teaching platform, and that you will give us your feedback on how best we can further support the sector with EdTech. Thank you very much and goodbye.